Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name's Dave and thanks for joining me today. If you're watching this video, then there's a strong chance that you are interested in doing your HGV test, or you might be thinking about it and you want to know some information about the whole process from start to finish. So you've joined on this video, which is fine because I'm going to give you the 5 easy steps which to follow in order to get a HGV class 2 license. So this is the way and the order I did it. But it'll also work for everybody else, but you can move a couple of bits around. You don't have to do it in the order I did it in, but there's a couple of bits that you do need to prioritise before you can move on. So straight off the bat, we've got 5 easy steps. I'm going to tell you what those 5 steps are, and then I'm going to tell you individually which each of them consists of. So starting from number 1, you've got a medical to do. Number 2 is going to be to send your driving licence away to have a provisional endorsement put on it, or provisional entitlement, sorry. The third thing you're going to be doing is your theory tests. You've got 3 of those. And the 4th one is your driving lessons, and the 5th one, final one, is your 2 practical tests. So all in all, when you do your HGV, you've got 5 tests altogether. 3 of them are theory, 2 of them are practical. One of the practical ones is a show me tell me test, so we'll come on to that in a little bit. So let's start from the beginning. Right, your medical, what do you do on your medical, how much does it cost? Let's get into it. So your medical is usually around £50, but if you book it with a driving school, that fee probably will be covered by the initial fee that you'll pay them for your driving course. So what do they do on a medical? Basically, they don't take blood, they don't use needles. I've had a lot of people ask me, do they take your blood? No, they don't take your blood. All they do is do a simple blood pressure test where they put the band around your arm, it expands, gives you a blood pressure reading. So there's that. They're going to weigh you, they're going to measure you, they're going to give you an eye test. So if you do need prescription glasses or contacts, make sure you take them with you. Obviously, it's going to be a wasted journey if you fail the test. And then the final thing they do is they just ask you some pretty basic questions, non-intrusive, about your physical and mental health. So they ask if you smoke, do you drink, do you exercise, what's your diet like, you know, are you depressed, things like that. They have to ask you because this whole procedure of doing the medical is to make sure that you are actually all right to go out in a HGV and drive on the roads, because they don't want to be letting just anybody do it, because unfortunately some of us do have you know, underlying health conditions or health defects, things, whatever you want to call it. You know, unfortunately some people are born that way, some people develop illnesses, and they can't just be letting anybody go out on the road in a truck, because as you've seen, the roads are hectic as they are, without people who could potentially be a big risk going out in a vehicle such as this one that I'm in. So yeah, that's your medical. That's a really simple procedure, nothing to worry about there. That's your medical out of the way. So now we're on to step number 2. Now step number 2 is where you send your driving license away. If you remember back to when you did your driving test, you got a provisional license, and then when you passed your test you got a full UK driving license, just like this one here. So basically, when you send your license off, it's for them to basically put your provisional HGV license on the back of here. So if you look closely at the back, I don't think it'll zoom in too well, but you've got all your different categories on the back. You've got motorcycles, buses, cars, car and trailer, truck and trailer, bus, yada yada yada. So what they're going to do is they're actually going to put a date on there from when you can provisionally drive the truck. So when you get your license back, hey ho, you can provisionally do your lessons then. So that's why I was saying before, you don't have to do your theory tests first. You can do your lessons and then your test, it's up to you. Obviously your practical tests do come right at the end, but you can do your driving lessons in betwixt doing your theory tests. So that's why I put step 3 as your theories, step 4 as your lessons. That's just the way I did it, but you can do it vice versa with them too, it doesn't really matter. So to send your license away, all you're going to need is a V62 form from the post office, or if you go onto the gov.uk site, I think you can order one off there. straight to your door. You just fill it out. There's no fee, there's no payment, no postal order. You just literally send your driving license, fill the form out, send it away. Again, if you go into a driving school, they will do this for you, which is why I do highly recommend driving schools. So that's license away. Then step number 3, once you've got that provisional entitlement, then you're going to go into step number 3. Step number 3 is going to be your 3 theory tests. So you've got a theory test just like you've done on your car test. You've got a hazard perception just like you did on your car test. So you're watching a video with hazards that are emerging, and you get marked on how fast you identify those hazards. And the final theory test is called your CPC theory, which is your Certificate of Professional Competence. Sounds fancy, but all it is really is a bit more of a trickier theory test. It's multiple choice again, but this time it's sort of aimed directly at lorries. So it's all stopping distances for lorries, driving hours, you know, crossing borders. There's all things to do with HGVs. It's a lot more lorry focused, so it is harder. But not to worry, if you go on your App Store, Google Play, whatever it is, there is loads of DVSA approved apps that are free for doing theory mock tests. That's CPC and your theory. So don't lose out on there. You know, you don't have to go into the shops or going online buying £20, £30 DVDs or downloading the stuff and paying for it. You can just go on your App Store. And the one I was using, I'll have to find which one it is and put it in the link below. I'll put it in the comments if that helps you guys out, because that one, I actually noticed that a lot of the questions that were in my mock exams on this app were actually on the test. So that was kind of an eye-opener, sort of. I'm glad I revised. You know, these apps are free, so there's no excuse of not revising. Make sure you do your revision, because that CPC, like I say, it is pretty tricky. So after you've done all that, there's step 3 done out of the way. So you've done your medical, you've sent your license away, you've done your 3 theory tests, you're pretty much there. All you've got to do now is do your driving lessons, which is step 4, so that's gone as well. Then your final step is your 2 practical tests. Now, one of them's driving. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to go around with an examiner for about half an hour, 40 minutes, I think it lasts for. And it's just literally get marked on your driving, same as your driving test. So not really too much to tell you about that, other than to just be calm, you know, try and not be flapping while you're doing it, because you're more likely to mess something up. You know, you need to find a way within yourself, learn yourself to be a bit more calmer in those situations. You know, we all get anxious, you know, we all get a bit excitable, but that's just the way it is. It's a test, you know, it's a big thing. You don't want to fail it, you know, in your head, I don't want to fail, but don't have that in your head. That's the only advice I can really give you on that. And just book your test early in the morning, I suppose, when there's loads of traffic, so you're going to be sat there for a bit, because either way, they've got to do them time slots within that period of time. So maybe there's a bit of a cheeky tip for you. Other than that, you've got your CPC practical. That's your last, well, it's not your last test, but that's your second to last test, and you will probably do that before you go out on test. That's what I did as well. So your CPC practical is basically just, you've got an examiner sat in front of you with a clipboard. They're going to walk around the lorry with you. You don't have to drive anywhere, but it is a show me, tell me test. So I'm going to give you an example of a question that they're going to ask you, and then I'm going to give you an example of a perfect answer. This means nothing on the roads, or by drivers' standards, this means nothing, but I got 100% on my CPC practical, and that's just because of how much effort I actually put into my answers and how much information that I crammed in to those short answers that I was giving. And also at one point I did get a little bit stuck on a question, but the lady who was doing my exam obviously knew that I was trying really hard and I'd not got any other question wrong. I'd not stuttered, stopped, or, you know, had to have a think. So she basically gave me a polite little nudge and nodded her head towards what I needed to answer about. Then when I clicked what it was, it all came running back to me. So this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying examiners will definitely help you out on that CPC practical, but you have got a lot more chance of them being a little bit and helping you out if you put in good effort into your answers than if you're just half-arsing everything and you just can't wait to get out in the truck. They're not daft, they know. And you may well have the same person doing your driving test as you've just done your CPC with. So if you think you're a half-arsed talker, what's he going to think of your driving? So that's just a little tip. I'll give you a example of a question that I got asked and an example of a pretty crap answer, and then I'll give you the real good answer. So for example, they're stood in front of you, they've got the clipboard, and they say, right, so how would you check the oil on your truck in the morning? If you just simply open the bonnet on the truck, pull the dipstick out, say, I'll wipe that, put it back, that's not wrong. That is how you check the oil. You pull a dipstick out. We know how to check oil. But what they want is more of an answer like this. So when I approach the vehicle in the morning, I make sure the engine's cold. I make sure the truck's parked on level ground to give me an accurate reading. And then you actually walk round, open your door, pull your bonnet popper, lift your bonnet up, actually check your oil. 9 times out of 10 they'll say you don't have to actually show me, just point and whatever. So that would be a better answer, making sure the lorry's on level ground and that the engine's cold, and then you're going to go around, do all a little bit. So those little things that you add on in your answers, believe me, they make a massive difference when it comes to your examiner. Because if you just say, oh yeah, you pull a dipstick out and do that, that's not a wrong answer, but it's not really a very good, thorough answer. That's just, well, anybody probably could do that. So that's pretty much it. Once you've done that, and then you've done your HGV driving practical, you're a driver then, and then it's up to you to take every day as a learning day. You're never going to be the best trucker in the world. It's all learning. As my granddad used to say to me, every day is a learning day. Even us old boys are learning every day. We learn stuff new. The way trucks are going these days, my granddad would probably laugh at them, say they drive themselves. But yeah, so that's pretty much from start to finish how you get your HGV Class 2. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you do have a test coming up soon, I wish you the best of luck with that. Again, just try and stay calm in test. It's really not that scary. Once you get out on the road, it's a lot better. But yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching the video today. If you did enjoy it and you want to see more content, please hit the thumbs up button, give us a like, subscribe to the channel where we do not only HGV videos, but we'll also be doing motorbike videos and car videos to do with modifications and God knows what else, but a lot of exciting stuff's going to be coming. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.